Our mess. Oh yeah, sun's shining too. Um, at the moment, we're going to dink around in here for a bit. Get the oil pump in that thing. Maybe get the pan on it. But, you know, the oil pump's been sitting here in a bucket for how many months now? And, you know, it's not like there's not dog hair around and dust and dirt, everything else. So she's taking a plastic bristle brush to knock a bunch of stuff off. She likes to use those dental picks to clean stuff up, but you know, she'd take I told her to use the air. She'd take that dental pick and she would literally, if this pan was really dirty, she'd use that dental pick to clean the whole pan. You know, it's kind of like that poor bastard that gets in trouble in the military and they hand him a toothbrush and send him to the bathroom to clean it.
And what did my dad do when I was younger? Here's dental pick. Clean it.
I used to give her stuff that were tiny parts that she needed to use a dental pick for. She just decided that's her tool of choice. And I am doing a little light reading. That would be timing for the oil pump. I just got to figure out, I'm assuming they want the engine at top dead center. I'm just working my way through so that we can get it set up. And probably should get the valves adjusted while we're going to be turning things over today too. And put the starter back on. I don't really want to bump it with the starter. To do that, I'd rather turn it by hand because there's no pan and no oil there yet. You know, if things were sitting in oil and not just assembly lube, it'd be different. And, you know, even though a lot of assembly lube, I don't know if you can see it or not, but a lot of the assembly lube is run down and out, but it's still on the pieces because the stuff sticks to it good. So that's what we're going to do for now. I finished learning how to read, and she gets back to learning how to use a brush on things to clean it, and, you know, get her together. That's my cheat sheet. Top dead center, number 1, where it's going to fire. The F is front, because, you know, if I did it this way, I'd be really screwed up. So the X's are the ones I can adjust now. The O's are the ones I adjust after turning the engine 1 revolution. So, intake and exhaust on number 1 are done. This one should be, I got a peek. Yeah, that's the intake for number 2. The exhaust is partly open on number 2. So you get the idea, you skip. And all those that are O's on there, that's both on number 6, one of them on number 5, one of them on number 4, and obviously these 2 that are open at the moment. 18 thousandths is what the book says on these, so try to keep from dropping my phone. Maybe you can read it on here. If I get it in the right spot, there we go. That should just, get the camera where you can see it, just fits in there, just. If you hold it square, there. If I hold it square, it slides in. You want it so it's just rubbing good, but not pinching it. And the slot's your adjuster, and the jam nut, and when you get it down with the slot, I back it off about 1/8 of a turn and then jam it, and it's usually right there. First 3 went just like clockwork, nice and easy. One I just did, I think I wiggled it about 5 or 6 times before I got it. But while we're on top dead center at number 1, there's something missing down here. Because that's the floor. That's the oil pump hole. The injector pump goes on this side. That's what the 2 bolts are for. But the oil pump drives the injector pump. So we're going to slip the oil pump in now and get it timed, because right now is when it has to be done, when the engine's in this position. And the light's too much. Okay, you see the scratch mark to the left? That's timing mark. And There you can kind of see the timing mark on the flywheel. The white paint marks where it is so you can find it, but they're lined up exactly. You get straight on it. Oh, you can see it even better without the light. Look at that. So, but to the other valves, I got to crank the engine over one full turn and bring it right back to that spot again and do the rest of the valves. Then that part's done. Oh yeah, and look, she's modeling a 4010 John Deere oil pump. We do have to set time on the pump before it goes in. And then when we get it in, make sure that we are at time. And I didn't find a replacement O-ring in the kit for this one. But it sticks out good. It's clean. So I think we're good there. And I don't think an O-ring goes there. I think it just goes in. Just little things I gotta look for. But we're gonna slip that in before something happens to it. Then we can clean the pan up, put the pan on and put some oil in it. On the monkey. Oil pump's almost in. Last little bit. Doesn't really want to go. Yeah, better without the light, I don't know. Our gear's pointed the right direction so far. It's got to come in like another 1/8 of an inch, I think. But it's all steel to steel for sealing around the neck of the pump where it goes into the block. So it went so far and stopped, and she's just gently working the bolts to hopefully draw it on in. In case you can't tell, she's gently cussing at it, giving it words of encouragement.
Yes.
Oh, look, she got the starter back on. Maybe I should hook the battery up and put my jumper switch on and wake her up. But yeah, I'm waiting for that part to finish so I can finish the valves. She wants a light so she can try to blind us. First I was wondering if maybe something here, this is the oil regulator, this is your adjustment. South Saskatchewan farmer had a little issue with one of his tractors here a while back. And it ended up being a pump on him, but he couldn't get pressure after working on it. Flashlight in mouth, mumble, mumble. That way you don't understand the cuss words she's saying. Anyway, he tried adjusting it here, which it tells you right in the book. You pull, I think it's this plug, go into the oil galley here with a gauge. Take the cap off here and you adjust the screw for your pressure. Now, we may check that, but you got to have it running first, so that'll be a while. Hey, guess what? There's no oil pump in that hole yet, and I've been laying here long enough. My sinuses are filling full of crap. And you can kind of see, get my finger in the right place. It looks like a scratch up inside, inline there, but that's a casting flaw, and that's not near the machine surfaces. So we got something going on. There's either a burr at the base of the pump housing where it goes up where her finger is, or there's a burr at that the highest machine part you can see clear up above where her finger is now. As we're getting up, we're within 1/8 of an inch of being all the way in, but we can't get there. It's solid. And we remember taking it out. I had to get the big pry bar in here to pop it loose and get it out. And we pried it most of the way out. And the tolerances have to be fairly close because the machine surface is inside. You can see a hole just below that top one. That goes into the oil galley. So that keeps oil from squirting up above and keeps oil from squirting down below. There's no O-ring. It's all metal to metal seal surfaces. So they have to be tight. So checking for burrs, and hey, hopefully we find something we can file it off and put it together. And in case there was some weird little fluke to it, Bruce was nice enough to make a phone call to one of his John Deere buddies, and he says, "Oh no, that should just slide right straight in and out. There shouldn't be anything." So Yeah, looking for burrs, all the fun stuff. There it is. I'm thinking may have actually had it in the way it was supposed to be all along. I thought maybe the gears might mesh a little more than that. I thought that the mounting bolts on the bolt or on the oil pump actually came in contact with the block where they go. They don't. There's a gap in there. It actually comes in contact inside that hole. There's a step in the pump and a step inside, and it goes tight there. So we're assuming we're actually there. Timing is in a proper spot. She's down there working on tightening them up. There is no torque spec for those bolts, but God knows you don't want to break the tabs off the pump either. So she's going to get them snugged up. I'm going to check them, and we're going to go from there. In the meantime, you know, Bruce made a phone call for me, and I totally thought, shit, we're an eighth of an inch from being there.
That's what I thought too.
No, the bottom edge of the housing that goes up basically ends up flush with that part of the casting and the block where it slides into. So for anybody that is thinking the same way we were thinking and you can't figure out why in the hell it's not going in, that's why. We did find a couple of burrs and a couple of scratches. One spot from when we took it out, it hit. Luckily it didn't do it inside the block. It was a piece on the pump housing. So I spent about 10-15 minutes with the emery cloth cleaning up some spots, but it is in now, so hey, we're that far along. Rainey says, what a day. Started raining about 20 minutes ago. She's screwing around again. It's up, it's in place, but the lock tab's on it. And if they're in the wrong position, you turn her over, the crank hits it. Actually, it's the rod bearing. The end of the rod will hit it. So we're changing the way the tabs are.
It's not gonna be long enough to fold over like
Now she says it won't be long enough. Yeah, that's what she says. She's just gonna make me do it. Get it up there snug so it don't come out. I'll fix it. So yeah, no torque, just do it. Just gotta make sure you lock them. And really, I just want to do it and tell you it was raining. You know, again, like normal. When it's not dry all freaking summer. Look, you're right, reading the book again. Because I'm refreshing my mind on that. Yeah, there's your timing window. That's what they're showing you, to show what it looks like. It's on the side of the pump. Right there. Everything should be sitting the way it was. A little more cleanup where they go together. And on the 4010s, your pump timing is 14 degrees off top dead center. On the 4020s, it's top dead center, so I don't know. I just know I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to put it on here. It should be ready to drop right in the way it sets. And hopefully, if I remember correctly, it's a bitch, but we can get the injector lines on it later. Let's just put it in, crank her over 2 full turns, and check it. Well, I'm going to put it in. I'm going to crank it 1 full turn. I'm going to finish the valves. And then, realistically, valve cover can go on. She's got pretty much everything cleaned up to put the pan back on. We ain't going to put the pan on tonight. But I will get the fuel pump on. And hey, while I'm thinking about it, see that? It's a piece of shit. All it is plugging a hole. 12-volt pump. Same one they used on the 7700 combines for a lift pump. Did that years ago when that one went tits up. Because that one was $100 and some, and we have to wait 3 or 4 days to get it. That one, John Deere not only had it on the shelf, but Napa had it on the shelf for like $70. So anything we've had issues with, we put those little electric pumps on and no more issues. And if it is an issue with the electric pump, it's right here. It's easy to get to. And, you know, it works. So, anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to put that in, get the valves run. Say may or may not get the valve cover on tonight. It's getting to be about that time. And maybe tomorrow we'll have it almost to the point where we can crank her over. It'll be close. I mean, we still got a bunch of little shit to do here, because you kind of need to get all this stuff put together that's not here, and everything else that's not put together, and remembering where we tucked wires and cables and that kind of thing. You know, it's been a few months ago, but we'll figure it out. So thanks for watching. Anybody gets to work on one of these, I hope I've helped a little bit. Not out of the shop yet. It's been like 45 minutes or an hour. The pan is cleaned up and ready, except for wiping it down with some brake clean. Head gaskets or valve covers underneath there with the valve cover gasket stuck to it. I can't even talk. And I did my finagling. Fuel pump is on, timed, ready to go. Valves are all adjusted. So hopefully tomorrow we can actually show some real progress on it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, hey, something else. Straight Pipe Acres, him and BCP Farming and Trucking, they've been working back and forth a little bit together. And BCP Farming and Trucking has, I think they're at 924 subscribers. I've been meaning to say something about it for a while. Go check him out. Give him a sub. See if we can get him to 1,000 pretty soon. You know, it's not that many to go. It can be done. He's been at it for a long time.